and welcome to my new mini-series entitled How to Be a Better DM. As always, I am your kind and humble Dungeon Master, and I will be guiding you through your newest entree into the world of Dungeons & Dragons, being a Dungeon Master. If you have never played before, and this is your first delve into this world, I'm going to tell you hit the back button right now, go and watch my other series of videos entitled How to Be a Player. And not those, I mean how to be a Dungeons & Dragons player, not that kind of player. No, those are different videos. Also, if you haven't watched my videos, my series entitled Halls of the Lich King, or the Halls of Undermountain, go back and watch them. They're fun. And with that, let's get started. Your first question as a Dungeon Master, or a first-time Dungeon Master, should be, what do I need to play or run the game? First off, you should have experience. You should have played at least one character up to level 10, maybe 15, so that you have a good understanding of the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. If you haven't done that yet, go do it. Do I need dice? Yes and no. If you have a smartphone, there's dice apps that you can download for free. You can use those. There's nothing wrong with them. Personally, I prefer to have actual, real dice. Do you need a book or books? No. You don't need a Dungeon Master's Guide. You don't need a monster manual. All that stuff is available. That information is available online for free. Sorry, Wizards of the Coast, but it's true. So what do I need? What do I need to run a game? You need this. Experience and imagination. That's it. So where do I start? Well, the first place to start, according to popular DMs, let's say that, I'm not going to name any names, you should start by picking out what world you want to run your game in. No, that's not important. Nintir Vale and Faerun, you can have the same adventure. Only thing that will change is the name of the cities. That's it. Maybe a name of a few of the NPCs. That's it. The adventure will remain the same. So where do I start then? You start by gaining a premise for your adventure, by deciding what you want the adventure to be. If you want this big long dungeon delve that takes the characters level 1 through 30, that's your premise. If you want to have a bunch of mini adventures where your player characters basically become the hero of a certain city and protect that city from all that should attack it, that's your premise. If you want to have them travel around just doing random jobs for people, that's your premise. That's the most important part. Otherwise, you're just doing a bunch of random crap. There's no central story. That's the most important part, getting your premise or central story down. Then you can decide where you want to have it. Do you want to have it in the lands of Faerun, where they travel the Sword Coast from Neverwinter to Waterdeep all the way to Daggerford, fighting evil in all of its forms? There you go. If you want to have them in the Nintir Vale, starting out at the Silver Unicorn, nestled deep in the heart of Falkrest, and they can go and fight the Yellow Skull cultists at Yellow Skull Temple, there you go. If you want to have them travel to Shadowfell, fighting all of the chaotic gods until they finally face Orcus and take him down once and for all, there you go. That's your adventure. Okay, that's all you need. So, what have you got so far? Well, I got the basis for my adventure, and I know where I want to hold it. Well, that's not enough. Next part is going to be writing your starting quest. How will your players get involved in the quest line? That's what you need to do next. You need to determine that. Otherwise, they're kind of just standing there. You know, they're not doing anything. They don't know how to start the quest line. Something needs to happen. You need to write that next. Well, how do I do that? Slow down. We're going to cover that in future videos. This video is starting out and having a good understanding of how to be a Dungeon Master. Rule number 1. Know the game, which we've already covered. Rule number 2. Let your players play. Don't play for them. If you have a player that wants you to do that, fine, but never assume it. Never assume your player wants you to run their player for them. It's just not fun. Rule number 3, make sure everybody's having fun. That's important. In fact, that should be rule number 1. Make sure everybody's having fun. If they're not, get them more involved in the game. If being more involved in the game isn't fun for them, and they just want to sit back and spectate until combat rolls around, do that. If whatever it takes to make them have fun, make them have fun. Now, there's many different types of players, and to make all of them have fun at once requires a lot of skill and knowledge. All of that will be covered in future videos. Rule number 4. Let the players worry about the food. You are running this entire world of creatures and characters. You've got enough on your plate. Let them worry about the food. Okay? And rule number 5. Have fun yourself. Well, what do you mean by have fun yourself? I'm running the game. I should be having fun, right? Well, not necessarily. Everybody is running around. They're involved in fights. They're killing. They're reveling. They're having fun. You should be too. If you're not, and your players are succeeding and they're having a good time, you're not supposed to be a dungeon master. I'm sorry. And the main cause I see for this is because you're losing. I've seen DMs get mad because their monsters are dying. They're not hurting the player characters. What winds up happening is they throw these impossibly high-level monsters at the characters, killing all the characters. You just ended the whole adventure. The whole game is over now. And you're going to continue to do that. You're what's called a sore loser. If you're a sore loser, hit the back button, be a player character. Do not be a DM. That sounds harsh, but it's a fact. You have to have fun to be a DM, to be a good DM. And the final lesson, lesson number 6. Cheat. That sounds bad. I know it sounds bad, but cheat. Cheat in the player's favor. Cheat in your favor. If you see the players are getting depressed because their characters are getting pounded, and you have an enemy who still has 50 hit points, and one of the players hits him and only does 10 damage, he dies. You know what that's going to do? That player's suddenly going to go, oh, thank God, yes! Alright, let's do this, we can do this. It's going to recharge them. And that's what you need. Cheat in the character's favor. Now, say all the monsters are dying. They're wiping the floor with them. They're like, okay, another monster goes down. Who's next? You've got a monster. He's the leader. Always make it the leader. Don't make it some minion. That won't be fun. Make it the leader, because then they're like, they'll, okay, now I know why this guy was leading this group. He's fucking tough as shit. Take the leader. He's only got 5 hit points left. Okay. Player does 10 damage. He stands still. Or, boss has got 5 hit points. Nowhere on his monster sheet does it say he's got a healing potion. Nor in his monster sheet does it say he has healing spells. Suddenly he casts a healing spell, and he is revived to full health. Oh shit. Now it's more of a challenge. Start doing some heavy damage. If his damage is 1d12 plus 4 damage, throw another d12 in there. It's a d12 plus 8 damage. Do some damage to the players. Hurt them. Not too badly, but hurt them. Get that sense of urgency. Kill. Don't kill, but knock unconscious. Knock someone unconscious. Because when they're dying, the other players will go, revenge! And throw themselves that much harder into the fight. This is fun for them. So those are the 6 basics. And that's what we're going to cover in this video. Or that's what we have covered in this video. And that's all we're going to cover. Next week, we're going to go over starting your quest line. We're going to get more in depth of your 6, with the exception of letting the players bring food. That's pretty self-obvious. But we're going to get more into it. We're going to get more into when's an appropriate time to make a check and what the check should be. What type of encounter should you build for your party, stuff like that. This is basically just an introduction and to kind of give you an understanding of what you need in order to be an effective DM. Now, if any of these 6 factors is outside of your realm of possibility, don't be a DM. Your players will not enjoy it. You're setting yourself up for failure. They will walk out on you. For those of you who can do these things, your players are going to walk out on you. You're going to piss somebody off. It's not possible that everybody's going to agree with every decision you make. If it's your first time, your second time, your third time, until you have the skills needed to make sure everybody at the table is in a good mood and is playing, having fun, and everybody is tolerating what you're doing. Till you get those skills, you're going to have people walk out on you. It happens. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it stop you. Keep that perseverance. Play more games. I have lost track of the number of people who have walked out on me. You can't get around it. It happens. Players are going to get pissed off at other players. You can't stop that either. Especially those vets who cannot stand new players learning the game because they feel it slows the game down. You got to calm those people down. You got to talk to them. You have to take extra measures to make sure that they don't get angry. Even if it involves taking those new guys aside, giving them a little bit of extra time to learn the game. You need to do that. That's how you be an effective DM. And that is all we will cover today. Next week, as I said, we're going to go over starting your adventure. Everything from writing the first quest to actually playing the first quest. So for now, live long and prosper, love, peace, and chicken grease, whatever you want. I'll see you later.